What's up, guys? It's Migs with Market Open. Took a couple of trades today on DVN, SLCA, VXX. Let's go ahead and do the Market Open recap. The first trade I took today was on SLCA. Took it on the 5-minute, I believe. Took it on the 5-minute here. It was actually gapping down this morning. It's kind of a drift. There wasn't really a lot of volume behind it in the morning, but as you can see, it's just kind of drifting away and a little bit of consolidation, and as soon as it opened up, it just kind of flushed down. And I took it over the first 5-minute candle to make a new low right here. So I took it at the second candle, so right at 9:36. So I saw it pull back all the way back to the 9 and VWAP, and then it just kind of stuttered here for a second, and then it just went. So as soon as it broke the low, right here, 27.10, I took it short, 200 shares. My stop was about 50 cents away, so I did 200 shares, and I waited for it to flush down. I covered some at 26.31, so right near the bottom down here at 26.31. I kind of saw it bouncing around at the 26.25 mark. I didn't want to break, and then it started going back up. So as soon as it did that, I took my 150 shares at 26.31, and then the very next candle, as you can see, it hit again at 26.25. Didn't want to break, so there's a lot of support there. As soon as it started coming back up, I just took the rest of the 50 shares. And my original plan was for me to be able to hit it again, and as it was pulling back to the 9 and VWAP, and as it was fade, I was just going to lean into it, basically. So I'd waited for that to set up in the meantime. I took a trade on DVN. So this one, I completely deserved to lose on this one, and I really should not have gotten in. DVN was another one that was kind of drifting down, bad earnings. These are the different levels on it. And it flushed out and never really gave me a chance to get in. As you can see, this very first candle is kind of up and then down, and then it's a lot of range, and it didn't really quite make up its mind. So I didn't take the candle to make any low. And so then I just waited for it to pull back up. What I was waiting on is around here. So I took it short at 30.91 or 30.94, excuse me. And my stop was going to be up here at the 9, but as you can see, the very next candle actually just ripped higher. And I was trying to be a little sneaky and get in beforehand, and I didn't really wait for the pattern to form. So what I needed to do is wait for it to hit the 9 or VWAP and stay there, and then the next candle to make a new low would be my entry. But I was trying to, be a little sneaky, and I got in a little early with the right amount of shares, kind of set my stop at the $100 mark, and it just didn't really quite happen. The very next candle kicked me out. So I 100% deserved that one. Didn't wait for it, and that's what I get for being impatient. So I lost $122 on DVN, and after that, I went short on SLCA again. So like I said, I was watching it for it to set back up again, and it did just perfectly. So right in here. So I was waiting for it to get rejected at the 9, and then it start curling back down. And I got short at 26.88. I was next candle to make a new low. So right here at this candle, 26.92, I believe is the low on that. I got filled at 26.88. And my stop was what was it? So a little bit more than 30 cents away. So I leaned into it with 600 shares, so I was risking $200, and it went straight down basically at the 26.25 mark again, and it started to come back. So I covered. Let's see, I covered 500 shares right at 26.30, and let's see here, almost like 30 minutes later. Actually, no, that's yeah, so almost 30 minutes later, I actually got kicked out of my stop even price at 26.88. Actually, no, 26.85. I got kicked. Now, this is what made me mad. I was waiting for it to because as you can see, it's getting rejected here at VWAP, and I was waiting for it to hit 26.60, and I was going to short it again and just ride it back down. Now, I was just kind of, watching other stocks, and I had it on my other monitor, so I was just keeping a track of it. But one of the very next candles, it just drops and just goes. So watch, boom. So we were sitting up here around 20, yeah, so right under 27 basically on at 26.90, and just all of a sudden, within probably a minute, it drops all the way down to 26.50. And then it just keeps going. I'm like, okay, well, this thing's gotta, pull back eventually, and I'll try and short it at 26.60 or, a little bit, but it actually kept going. So I was like, okay, well, this is a lost cause. It actually did end up pulling back, but during that time I was in VXX and actually didn't end up shorting it. What I was gonna do, what my initial plan was gonna be, is I was actually gonna short it down here at 26.60 or 70 and have my stop here at 27. So I could have shorted it up here, but I just wasn't paying attention. As you can see, it's actually going lower, and it finally broke the 26 mark. Just for not paying attention, I lost out on those potential profits, but you can't be everywhere at once. So, and then during that time, I was also trading on VXX. Let's see here. This thing is kicking me out. This thing's kicked me out probably for the past 2 days straight now. So, show you guys the SPY as I saw it. So now the gap that needs to be filled is down here. So most of the time, the SPY will gap up or down. It'll fill the gap, it'll come down to this point, and then it'll start heading a different direction. So usually what I've been doing is I'll wait for it to break its trend for the morning, and then it'll usually drift down to the spot where it needs to fill the gap, and then it'll change directions. And that's usually how I've been able to make a lot of money on VXX lately. But just the past 2 days straight, VXX has been acting kind of, well, actually the SPY has been acting kind of funky. I expect to have a red day because we have like an upside down hammer on the SPY, and then we end up going higher. We close the gap, and then we end up going higher. So I don't know. It's been tricking me lately. So I went short. Actually, I went long on VXX as it broke the 273 mark here, and which happened to be 42.85. So I actually set an alarm on my other monitor, and as soon as the SPY broke 273, I was just sitting there waiting, and I clicked as it broke, and it kept going down a little lower. I was expecting it to pull back and then just keep going lower, but as you can see, it actually broke up over the highs, and I actually ended up getting out. So let's see here. I think I went long 11.02. So right, probably here. Yeah. So I went long, oh actually no, 11.12. So 11.12 here, as you can see, it actually went up and actually came back down. So my stop was actually here at the 42.55 mark because it was the last pivot. And the SPY kept going higher, which means that the VXX is going to keep going lower. So I don't know, just VXX has gotten me for the last couple of days. It's just been acting really funky though, so might stay away from it for the next couple of days. Maybe it'll settle down and start acting accordingly. But can't really complain. Up $250 on the day, although I was up a lot higher, and I could have taken my profit on SLCA. But I was leaving a little bit, like the last 100 shares. I left the last 100 shares for lottery, basically. I was just waiting for it to break down and keep going below 26, which it did, but I always set my stop at break even, so I don't lose money on that initial amount. So SLCA was my big trade for the day. As you can tell on here, my hit percentage is, let's see, so I took 2 trades on SLCA, one on VXX and one on DVN, so 50-50, but you always have to make your winners bigger than your losers, and my SLCA trades were way bigger than my losses on these other 2, and that's how basically you become profitable. You just shoot for 2 to 1 or a little bit more. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Like I always say, make sure to join our Facebook group. The link will be down below. I posted my watch list this morning for you guys, just like I do every single day, for you guys to be able to profit off of. Also, if you guys do have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the comment section below. Or if this does help you, make sure to leave down a comment at all. I don't care what it is. Help me help you, basically. because the more comments that you leave and the more interactions that you leave on the video, the more people will be able to see it, because the YouTube algorithm actually rewards people with more interaction basically in their videos, so I can get these videos out to more people that need help. So just leave down a comment. You could write down what country you're from, or if this helps, or if you have a question. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.